What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Nerd Corner. I'm Lotus, the kid that never knows best. And in today's video, I'm bringing you something that I didn't expect to ever be putting up on this channel, but it's actually been pretty decently requested. I've had a fair few amount of people in the YouTube comment section, and especially a lot of people on Twitter that have wanted me to make a video showcasing my sneaker collection, all the shoes that I own, because people seem to like the way I dress. You know, they tend to think that the boy kind of fly. You know what I mean? Not to toot my own, not to brag or anything. But yeah, and that's another thing. This video is by no means me trying to flex or brag or show off. I'm genuinely only doing this because people have been showing interest and have actually requested that I make this video. So I'm gonna do it because it seems like fun. So I figured, why not? Now, to me, this really isn't anything worth bragging about or trying to show off, because it's nothing compared to what I had to say when I was still in high school. Because I've had everything from like Converse and Vans to Jordan 3s, 4s, 6s, different types of Air Maxes, Yeezys. I've had multiple pairs of Yeezys, and even my prized and beloved Louis Vuitton Dons that I miss so much, my patchworks that I wore at my own high school graduation. So yeah, again, not trying to brag, not trying to flex, just letting you guys know, how it is. So what I have now is probably more than what the average person does, but I personally don't think it's anything too special. But maybe some of you guys will, maybe you'll enjoy this video. Don't expect it to get a whole lot of views because it's so, out of the blue, out of the ordinary from my channel. But hopefully those of you who are interested in this video and do watch it end up enjoying it. So with that being said, let's get cracking. Up first, we just have this beat up pair of Converse Lows, some classic Chuck Taylors. You can never go wrong with a pair of Chuck Taylors. I feel like anyone who's pretty stylish, who considers themselves fashionable, probably owns a pair of Converse because it's such a classic, iconic, and versatile shoe that can pretty much be worn with literally anything. You can wear these with some jeans and a t-shirt. I've even seen people wear these with a suit. Personally, I wouldn't rock them with a suit, but apparently you can do that if you can pull it off. Similar situation with these, we have a pair of black and white skate highs from Vans. Everyone knows what these are. Everyone and their mother probably owns a pair of these nowadays. I don't know when exactly these became a trend, because I know back when I was in like middle school and going into high school, a lot of people thought these were one of the ugliest like models that Vans made. More popular silhouettes were the Authentics, the Eras, the slip-ons, and then even old schools. But something about skate highs a lot of people weren't really fond of. Me personally, it's always been my favorite model. I've always loved high top sneakers, so I've got a few pairs of skate highs and I've had other pairs that I no longer have. But yeah, these are definitely the most beat up shoes in my collection. It's arguable between a pair I'll show you later. But these are pretty beat up. I've skated in these, I've walked through the woods and the rain in these. Another shoe that you can wear with almost anything if you want to look decently fashionable, but you're not trying to flex or stunt too hard. You get yourself some skate highs. And up next, we got these bad boys right here, my Tibetan Reds, which I know about the Tibetan Reds, boy. These are hands down my favorite pair of Vans that I own, and one of the most worn shoes in my collection. You guys have probably seen me wear these more often than not if you've ever seen me post photos of myself on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, because I just think they're so sick. And I often get asked about, what's the name of the colorway, where can you find these? Well, they're called Tibetan Red, and I'll put that on screen for you guys so you can look it up for yourself if you want to, try and find them. But good luck, because they're decently hard to find. The thing with these is that they were a Europe-only release. They never came out in the States, so the way I had to get my pair was by ordering them off a seller in London off of eBay. But yeah, man, these are really sick, and honestly, I really wish that I could get another pair because I love them so much. It's such a dope color to me, and I'm not exactly taking the best amount of care of these. In fact, they definitely need to be cleaned, and I need to brush the suede. But it is what it is. I rock these to death. I love them, and they've definitely served me well over the years that I've been wearing them. Now, the last pair of Vans that I gotta show you guys is these henna boot leather skate highs. Something that's a little more luxury, I guess, a little more high class when it comes to Vans. They got this nice little zipper on the back with a tassel and whatever. I don't really wear these as often as I should, especially considering how much I wanted them and how much they cost. They were like I want to say $100, $110, which again, I've had shoes that I paid way more for that then. But for a pair of Vans, that's a decent amount of money. I don't really wear them too often, but I think they're definitely dope, and they're a great shoe for the fall and winter. So I'll probably be breaking these out in the very near future. Then right here, we got the infrared Air Max 90s from Nike, one of the most iconic silhouettes and definitely one of the most popular colorways that they ever came out with for the shoe. This is the 2010 pair, and they brought the shoe back so many different times and so many different variations. We've seen like this model in specific be retroed time and time again over the years. You've also seen it come out in like the cork version, and then there's like the fly knit and flower, and just whatever the most popular and like innovative new like material is that people are throwing on shoes nowadays. We've seen an Air Max 90 infrared version of it. So it's definitely a shoe that I've always made sure to keep in my collection. Always I had a pair on deck, simply because I just love that infrared color so much. Just like hella popping, like super peachy mango, like hot pink color. I just always thought it was hella dope, especially particularly like behind the tongue, because like it's obviously like the same color, wherever you see like these hits at, but something about it behind the tongue, I guess simply because like this is fabric and these are like plastic or like rubber or whatever, it just, I don't know, man, it just like pops hella nice. So I always put like my jeans behind the tongue so that you can kind of see it like popping behind it. But yeah, man, I've always thought that this is one of the illest shoes Nike ever came out with. Definitely one of my favorites. Some of you might not like them. I know a lot of people don't rock with Air Max, it's too heavy, but I do. Alright, so I got another pair of Air Maxes to show you before we get into like the Jordans that I have in my collection. And this is probably going to be the most polarizing pair that I show off, because half of you are probably going to think that these are really sick, and the other half of you are going to think this is the ugliest shoe that you've ever seen. Grape Air Max 95s. I know. A lot of you are like, yo, those are sick. The other half of you are like, that is the ugliest pair of Skechers I've ever seen. It's definitely one of those shoes that whenever I don't have a pair, I really wish that I did. And they're decently hard to come across because they're not like, you can't like go into the stores and find them because they're so old. Like these came out in 2010, I think, and I don't think they've come out again since then. But whenever I don't have a pair, I really wish that I do, which is why even though I don't rock them too tough, I refuse to let them go because they're really hard to find. So at least for me, maybe nowadays, I haven't checked recently because I got them and I don't need to. But whenever I was on the prowl for them, I couldn't really find them in my size. So definitely a shoe I'm always happy to keep in the collection, and even though I don't wear them as often as I should, I think it's a hella dope. So now we get into the Jordans, and the first pair I want to show you guys is this beat up ass pair of 2011 True Blue 3s. A pair of shoes that have definitely seen way better days, and arguably the most dogged out shoe that I have in my collection. Hey, I got them for free, which is one of the reasons why I don't take such great care of them. Not that I'm like unappreciative or ungrateful, but I didn't get them like brand new. They were pre-owned when I got them in the first place. They already weren't in the greatest of condition, so I just continued to like kick them around and beat them up or whatever. But you know, I still make them look fly for the photo, you know what I'm saying? Like I just took this photo that you're seeing on screen now, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're still in the same condition now as they were then, and that photo looks pretty fly, you know what I mean? But not to do my own, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, the True Blue 3s are a classic. Originally came out in 1988, then they retroed again in like 2001, then they came out in 2011, and they just came out again last year, I believe in 2016, and honestly, wouldn't mind snagging a pair of those because you get the Nike R on the back, you get the red behind the tongue just like the OGs had. And I know I'm spitting facts that probably most of you don't know about or don't care about, but that's beside the point. The point is the True Blue 3s is a dope pair of shoes, and mine are really beat up and raggedy, so it's probably time to get a fresh pair of them. Kicking off the Jordan 1 collection, we got these New Love 1s. Now these are the Maids from the Old Love New Love pack. This is not the recent release, which is why these might look a little more dingy than you'd expect considering that they're so new, because these aren't the new ones. I'm not a huge fan of the color yellow, but there's always been something about these that really appealed to me. And one of the reasons being that I'm just a sucker for Jordan 1s. Like I said, it's my favorite silhouette. It's my favorite shoe, period. And definitely my favorite model of Jordan. Well, which is why I have so many different pairs other than different colorways. And right here, we got the black toe ones from 2013. I think these just recently came out again last year. I've been through many pairs of shoes, and especially Jordan 1s. And black toes is definitely a pair of shoes that always surprised me how difficult they were to find and come across, because they're not particularly popular and they're not particularly expensive. But out of all the Jordan 1s that I've been through when it comes to like the main releases from 2013, Breads, Royals, Shadows, Black Toes, Chicago's, these were always the hardest ones to get a hold of. They just were harder to find. But one of my favorite colorways, a colorway that I think should be more valuable than it is, it's one of the more classic and iconic ones, because we've only ever seen these in 1985, and we got these retroed in the mid-top version alongside the New Loves that I just showed you in the Old Love New Love pack, and obviously these were the Old Loves, those were the New Loves. But that wasn't a very true release, because obviously they were mid-top, they didn't have the Nike gear on the tongue, the color was a little different, they came with different laces. So you know, these are the first time that we saw the black toe ones come back like in their true form, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think they came out again in the 90s, but they might have. So, but yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite pair of shoes and one of my favorite colorways for the Jordan 1. And here we have the Shadow 1s to 2013. Hands down, my most worn pair of shoes in my collection for multiple reasons. One, they're black and gray, so they're really easy to match with. They can be worn with almost anything in my closet. Two, they're Jordan 1s, so you know that I like them a lot. And three, they're just so damn fly. I mean, look at them. They ain't crazy, boy. They ain't clean. Although I say that they're clean, the midsoles are actually getting a little bit yellowed here, because I've worn these literally hundreds of times, and I've had them for, what, 4 years now, going on 5. So yeah, they need to bring the Shadow 1s out again. I know that they just came out, but they've been bringing back the Chicago's, the Breads, Rolls, and everything else. So they might as well go ahead and retro the Shadow 1s again, so I can get a fresh pair, because I've rocked these into the ground, let me tell you. Although it's funny, because like, obviously I have shoes that are beat up, like most particularly those True Blues and those Vans, but like that's a pair of Vans, and those are shoes that were like worn when I got them. But I've seen so many pairs of shoes that are just so raggedy and dogged out, and I never really understood how people beat up their shoes so bad, because it's no exaggeration when I say that I've worn these hundreds of times. Like over the years, I've easily worn these over 300, 400, 500 times. So that being said, they're still in pretty decent condition, I'd say. Like they're obviously worn and what have you, but compared to what I've seen people do in like 5 to 10 wears of a sneaker, it's not that bad. So yeah, I could use a fresh pair, but these are definitely more than rockable. And now we got the holy grails right here, boy. Bam. The Bread 1s, and this is the 2013 version, as with the Shadows and the Black Toes. But yeah, this is my favorite sneaker of all time. Not just my favorite Jordan, not just my favorite Jordan 1, but just my favorite shoe, period, point blank. And fun fact for my anime and manga fam out there, Hanamichi Sakuragi, the main character in Slam Dunk, actually wears these. He starts off the series wearing like a regular pair of like school shoes, whatever, and then by volume 6 he gets a pair of the white infrared Jordan 6s, and then by the time those get worn out and beat up, he gets a pair of these bad boys right here, some Red 1s. This is the grail right here. And now last but not least, we got 2 more pairs of Jordan 1s, which have actually done nothing except sit inside their box, because I've always had this bad habit of buying a lot of shoes that I actually never wear and they just stay brand new in the box, which is one of the reasons why I sold off so many pairs of shoes that I did have, is because I never wore them. I kind of just stuck to my favorites. Like I said, I've worn those Shadow 1s literally hundreds of times because they go with everything. It's one of my favorite pairs of shoes. But yeah, here we have the UNC Jordan 1s, which came out in 2014, 15? I think it was 15. These have just been sitting in the box for 2 years, but this is one of my favorite colorways. It's funny that I haven't worn them. Still got that new shoe smell. It's funny that I haven't worn them, but I do think that they're really sick. I felt like I absolutely had to have these when they came out because we hadn't really seen them in true form since 1985, and this was always one of the illest colorways to me that I wish we could see again. They came out, I think, in a mid-top version in 2012, I want to say, and I actually got a pair of those for myself. But I just really wasn't a big fan of them because this is what I wanted, and it's just not what they were. These weren't out at the time, but this is the type of release that I wished that they were. So when these came out, I had to have them. I sold off that pair like 2 months after getting them without ever wearing them, simply because they just weren't as dope as I wanted them to be. But these bad boys right here, even though I have not worn them, these aren't going anywhere because who knows the next time we'll see them. Although at the rate that they're retroing the Jordan 1s, maybe we'll see them next year or something, I don't know. All I know is that I got my pair and they ain't going nowhere. And now, the last pair in the collection, not the illest pair, but a clean pair nonetheless, is the Yinyang Jordan 1s, all white with the black swoosh, the red hit there on the tongue tab. Yeah, man, funny story with these. I actually got these at the Nike outlet for 40 bucks. I didn't go there and buy them myself. Funnily enough, my dad is the one who originally showed me these, right? Because I don't keep up with sneakers too tough anymore. I'm really not that involved in the community or the culture because I don't really buy, sell, and trade like I did back in the day. But when these came out, he showed them to me online. He asked me what were my thoughts, because he knows that the Jordan 1 is my favorite. He just wanted to know what I thought of the colorway, and I was like, yo, those are sick. And I think these came out in 2015 or 2016. I really don't know. Like, I used to know a lot about shoes, but I'm out of the loop now. Anyway, the point is, he saw them at the Nike outlet several months ago, and he was like, yo, do you want a pair? They're $40. And I was like, $40? Hell yeah, scoop me a pair and I'll pay you back when you get home. So sure enough, that was the move, and now I got them. They just been sitting in the box since I got them, but crispy ass pair of Jordan 1s for $40, you can't pass that up. So I will rock them eventually. It's just a matter of time. Same with the UNCs, the powder blues. But yeah, don't know when it's gonna happen, but it will happen. Your boy love that new shoe smell. But yeah, man, the Yinyang Jordan 1s. But that'll do, folks. I think that is every pair of shoes like in my quote-unquote collection. I don't really consider it much of a collection, but I guess I probably do own more shoes, like I said, than most people seem to. But yeah, again, like I said, this was by no means me trying to brag or flex or show off or anything like that. Genuinely only did this video because I felt like there was a decent amount of people who wanted to see it. And I know this video won't get a ton of views, but like I said, hopefully those who do sit down and watch this do enjoy it, because I did this for y'all. So yeah, man, hit the video like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all else content I plan on bringing you. But with all that being said, that's all I got for today. And remember, nothing can happen to you swing the bat. Later.